Good evening, everybody. Steve Fletcher with the Trumpet for My People, January 9th, 2026. I've been talking to you about a 21-day delay from December 21st, as we had reached a very important key marker at the 7th and 8th days of Hanukkah. And a biblical scenario of a 21-day delay is found in Daniel chapter 10, where Michael and the prince of Persia have a battle for 21 days. Then it says, "Now I am come to make thee understand what shall befall thy people in the latter days. Yet the vision is for many days." And so a 21-day battle between Michael and the prince of Persia, and it's an end time sign. This is also seen in Revelation chapter 12, where Michael the archangel has a war in heaven before the dragon is cast out. Okay, so the idea here is that this 21-day battle is connected to Persia. Persia is Iran. Right now, there are protests across the entire country of Iran, and they're wanting to take out their leaders and bring about a complete revolution and a regime change in the whole country. And even Donald Trump is threatening to go in and take action because things are so out of hand right now in Iran. So the information, I'm trying to put together some piece of information to see was there anything that took place on December 21st as like a kickoff to these protests, because the protests began on December 28th. Okay, and so, but this happened because there have been months of tensions that have been building up. Okay, the protests that began on December 28th, 2025 were sparked by economic hardship, especially the sharp collapse of the Iranian currency to record lows, soaring inflation, and widespread frustration with the government's economic management. Shopkeepers and bazaar merchants in Tehran's Grand Bazaar and other commercial centers closed their shops and held strikes, which evolved into wider demonstrations against the government. So I was wondering, is there some type of Christmas celebration or celebration that happens before like the 28th that kind of could have sparked this frustration? And so as I investigated this, I found out that even though the Iranians don't celebrate Christmas on December 25th, they do celebrate a very important late December event called Yalda night. It's on December 21st. The exact day that we're looking at, December 21st, and this is key and often overlooked. Yalda night is one of the most important cultural celebrations in Iran. Families traditionally gather together, they buy fruit, nuts, sweets, host extended family meals. And why this matters economically is that by December 21st, prices of food and fruit had skyrocketed. The rial was collapsing. Many families could not afford even basic Yalda traditions. And this created humiliation, frustration, and anger, especially among working class families. How this connects to protests a week later, what you're describing is actually very plausible, but with Yalda, not Christmas, as the pressure point. The pattern looks like this. Weeks of economic decline, inflation, currency collapse, etc. December 21st, Yalda night. Families realize very personally how bad things have become, and we can't even afford a simple tradition. Following days, anger simmers. Bazaar merchants feel the pain directly. December 28th, strikes and protests break out. Economic despair turns public. This delayed boil over after a cultural stress point is very common in protest movements. Okay, were Iranians able to celebrate Yalda night in 2025? That's my next question. So there were celebrations for Yalda night, but severe economic hardship, rampant inflation, and high prices for traditional items significantly dampened the festivities, forcing many families to scale back or forego elaborate celebrations. While the ancient tradition endured as a symbol of hope, economic realities meant it wasn't the same vibrant gathering as in past years, with some reports noting that festive tables were bare or smaller due to cost. Okay, so everything is now getting to a point where there's frustration has been building up for months. Now they come to a critical point, and it's at one of the most important celebrations throughout the whole year, the night of the winter solstice, and many families weren't able to carry out their celebrations and felt a sense of humiliation and distress and despair. And so all of this is now coming to a head. And then within a week, the revolution breaks out, the protests break out nationwide. Okay, so what I'm sharing with you and the 21 delay connected directly to Iran, I think it really does apply physically really where we are right now. I mean, we can actually see this battle. I mean, if there's a heavenly battle and it's connected to Iran, and right now we see a spiritual boiling pot erupting in Iran, okay? So I think that this scenario is realistic. It's true. It's biblical. It's spiritual, and we can see it in the physical. All right. Now I'm just going to share a video with you, just a few minutes of general scenes from around Iran and the buildup of everything that's been happening over the last weeks. It's right now going on like the 12th night. The 12th night from December 28th, it started. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Keep this delay in mind and open your spiritual eyes to see that this may be a very spiritual battle, a very spiritual war between good and evil, between heaven and hell. So keep that in mind as you're watching this video, and we're keeping our eyes open, trying to understand where we are and seeing, is this connected to what we're watching on January 11th, 2026. I pray you are blessed. This is Steve Fletcher with the trumpet from my people, the sign of his coming revealed.
پایین آوردن پرچم مشهد تبرسی 17 دیما جاوید شاه
کسانی که امروز یا در اغتشاشات رسما میان توی خیابون و یا اونها رو هدایت میکنن یا اونها رو پشتیبانی کنن یا کمک میکنن، با این اعلام صریح موضع رژیم جنایتکار صهیونی و همچنین رئیس جمهور جنایتکار آمریکا، مسائلی که گفتن اگر کسی بیاد توی خیابون برای اغتشاش، برای ناامنی، اگر کسی پشتیبانی کنه اونها را، هیچ عذری دیگه برای اونها باقی نیست. مسئله خیلی واضح و روشن شده، در راستای دشمن کینه‌توز ایران اسلامی داره دیگه کار میکنه.
موضوع اعتراض با اغتشاش تفاوت داره. ما در حقیقت برای کسانی که اعتراض به حق و قانونی دارند وظیفه ایجاد امنیت و انجام امنیت داریم. ما با